Alright, so Fantasy app actually has these little prediction things. Of course, I'm 2-0 right now because I picked the Jets and the Eagles. But I'm going to go through all the games on the Sunday slate and probably look over the 2 Monday games. Although I'll make another video. A short, of course, because I made a short for Philly. I'm going to make a short for the other 2 Monday night games. But I'll go over them real quick. But anyway, who do I have for the Sunday slate? Well, first off, I'm predicting an upset in terms of fantasy predictions. I have the Atlanta Falcons ahead of the Green Bay Packers. The running game is going to be dominant. We all know this. Tyler Algiers and Bijan Robinson both balled out last week. And the defense surprisingly played really well for Atlanta. Got 2 picks off of Bryce Young. Jordan Love's a little bit more specialized than him, considering he sat behind Aaron Rodgers. But I think the Falcons' defense can clutch up. I think the running game could be really good. But Desmond needs to show who he is, because he hasn't really thrown that much. So I hope he can show, what he's all about, what his throwing capabilities. But I do have the Falcons in upset terms to this app. Next, I'm pretty sure I have this as my lock of the week. The Buffalo Bills are going to handle the Las Vegas Raiders. Yes, they did look pretty well against the Denver Broncos, but they're the Denver Broncos and they have Russell Wilson. Yes, I know Russell Wilson played well, but still. I just feel like Josh Allen, definitely after that disgusting week against the Jets, he's going to have a bounce-back game. He's probably going to throw for like 400 yards or something. It's just the whole team is better than any player on the Raiders team, except for maybe Devontae Adams and Josh Jacobs. So, yeah, I have the Raiders. Next, this one's a close one, considering the Bengals blew last game. But I'm choosing the Bengals to bounce back against the Ravens. Ravens already have the injury bug. J.K. Dobbins out for the season due to a torn... Was it Achilles or was it... I think it was Achilles. It was a torn something, but he's out for the season, most likely. They also have some other players injured. Lamar Jackson is still a pretty good quarterback. He probably will rally his team to get a lot of yards, especially with all the weapons. But Joe Burrow is in a necessary need for a bounce-back game. And they already blown one against a division rival they don't play well against. If they could get back on one they also don't play well against, I think Joe Burrow really wants to show that, especially since he cut his hair. Since he cut his hair, he's going to ball. We all know this. I do feel like the receiving core for the Bengals is just a little bit better, and the defense is just a little bit better. So I've got the Bengals winning this one. Next is the Detroit Lions and the Seattle Seahawks, and this would definitely be way closer if the Seattle Seahawks won that game against the Rams. But since they blew it, I think it's pretty obvious where the Lions are going. They're leading off a big momentum against winning against the Super Bowl champions. And they're going to keep riding that momentum until they play a really tough opponent. Like, I don't know who their really tough opponent they play next is, but I feel like that's where the momentum could end, or it could keep going. But the Seahawks, even starting 0-2, I do still have them making the playoffs. I do believe Geno and Yang do get back. But right now, the Lions will get this W. Next, again, really obvious. Tennessee Titans did not look good last week. 3 whole picks. Ryan Tannehill's going to get benched any day now. He's going to get benched any day now. And I think we all know this. But I've got Chargers winning that one easily. Justin Herbert's going to have a bounce-back game. Next, this one's also pretty close, but I'm giving the edge to Tampa Bay because, again, I don't have trust in Justin Fields. I'm just not a big Justin Fields guy. And Baker looked really good against Vikings week 1. So I think he could keep the momentum up for at least the Bears week, and probably blow like 7 games in a row. You never know with this team. They could either go 17-0 or 2-15. But I do have the Tampa Bay Bucks here. They still do have Mike Evans, and the Bears, after rallying so much to beat the Packers, they didn't beat the Packers. They got destroyed by the Packers, and I feel like that's going to lead on to this week. Next is the Kansas City Chiefs and the Jaguars, and I do believe the Chiefs will get their bounce back. For this one, I feel like a potential upset is brewing, but with Travis Kelce back, with Chris Jones back, with Patrick Mahomes being able to throw to someone without them dropping the ball, I think the Chiefs get a pretty easy victory against the Jacksonville Jaguars, which is good for us, the Colts, because then they're going to drop to 1-1, and we're going to be 1-1, because I got us winning the game against the Texans. Yeah, I feel like this would have been way closer if the Texans could ball on a Sunday against the Ravens. They did not. They did not look good. Weird report coming out today that C.J. Stroud is questionable for the game due to a arm injury, was it? I forgot. You can go check on Twitter/X. But if C.J. Stroud's out, I'm going to be a little sad because I want that C.J. Stroud versus Anthony Richardson. But there's also Laramie Tunsil, who is also questionable. I don't know what's going on with the Texans. But I feel like all of this, even though we are playing in the Texans Stadium, I feel like we can edge out a victory. Next, San Francisco 49ers versus the Rams. You see by the percentage, no one has faith in the Rams. I don't either. Yes, you did get a pretty good Week 1 win against division rival, the Seahawks. But it's the San Francisco 49ers, arguably the best defense in the league. So, I think it's pretty obvious, offense or not. Like, the Niners could score 3 points and still win this game, honestly, in my opinion. Next, New York Giants, Arizona Cardinals. If the Giants drop this game, their season's over. They should just tank for Caleb Williams because Daniel Jones's cheeks. But in all seriousness, though, the Giants will definitely get this get-back game. It's the Cardinals. I have them going 0-17. If they beat one team this season, I'm going to be genuinely surprised. And if it's the Giants, I'm going to be surprised and laughing. Because you guys put way too much expectations on them Giants. And they're not panning out good after that 40-point loss. But I do believe they can get this bounce back against the Cardinals. Next is the Jets and the Cowboys. If Aaron Rodgers was here, Jets would win. It's going to be a very low-scoring game with how good both these defenses are. Like, it could easily be 13-10, but I got the Cowboys since the Jets don't have a QB right now. Sorry, Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson's going to be fine. I feel like the little mentoring that Aaron Rodgers gave him will make him a little better. He's not going to be a good quarterback, but he's not going to be terrible like last year. But I still do have the Cowboys. I feel like they're just a little too strong, and he's going to put up a little bit too much, QB hits, QB sacks and stuff against Zach Wilson. He's going to be too pressured to make any big moves. Next, the Commanders and the Broncos. And this one's an upset to the people on fantasy, as they have the Broncos winning the game, but I have the Commanders winning the game. Now, the Commanders, they did not look as well as I thought they would against the Cardinals, and that could be signs for concern for Sam Howell and the Commanders crew. But the Denver Broncos also did lose their game, a very winnable game, when Russ was actually playing pretty well. I feel like if they had Jerry Jeudy, then they would definitely have won that game. But I have the Commanders because I just don't trust the Broncos yet. After, picking the Raiders to go 1-15 and they already upset my predictions, I don't have trust in the Broncos right now. The Broncos need to regain my trust. And if they can win this game, then they'll regain my trust. But right now, I've got the Commanders winning. Next, I've heard a lot of upset talks from the Patriots right now, and I don't know what's going on, in my opinion. I think the Dolphins sweep. Yes, I did predict a weird loss to the Patriots. for every AFC East team. But after seeing how big Tua balled out in that game against the Chargers of all people, I can't bet against the Dolphins in almost any game. The Dolphins looked dominant that game. Yes, their defense didn't look that good, but their offense is lights out. Their offense is great. I mean, Tua had the most yards on the week. He could easily have the most yards in the league if he passes up Kirk Cousins on yards. And Tyreek Hill, man, 210 yards. I mean, if he gets open again, he could go for 200 again. I mean, Tua and Tyreek are just too good, and then you have Waddle too. I just don't see the Patriots getting this upset, even with their good defense. I just don't see Mac Jones cooking that well. Now for the Monday night games, I'm going to quickly gloss over them, but I'm going to revisit them. Right now, I have the Saints winning. I am hopping on the Derek Carr train just the tiniest bit. I don't think he's a good QB yet. If he goes like 5-0, then I'll definitely think he's a good QB then. But right now, I'm not fully on the Derek Carr train yet. But the Saints did surprisingly look really good against the... Well, they did not look good, but they surprisingly did win against the Titans. And with how bad the Panthers looked, with Bryce Young only scoring 1 touchdown and 2 picks, I feel like the Saints could edge out this victory and prove my 0-3 prediction wrong again. And finally, we have the Browns and the Steelers. This is an upset according to fantasy for people picking. I have the Steelers winning. And I feel like Kenny Pickett can get a bounce-back game. I feel like Deshaun was not playing well. I feel like the Browns weren't playing well, and it was only because the Bengals absolutely sucked that they won. So I've got the Steelers. And yeah, the Steelers look horrible, and the Browns look semi-decent, but I feel like the Steelers can bounce back. Now, just a little bit at the end of this video, just for fun. I have a league with the slices, and here's my starters. I got Tua, Robinson, Etienne, Jefferson, Ridley, Hawkinson, Adams, 49ers D, and Young Oku. I should have started Kirk Cousins, by the way. I thought he wasn't going to play good against the Eagles. Pretty mad about that. I hope I don't lose to one of the home slices. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm sorry. I hope I don't lose one of them. But Jefferson and Hawkinson both ball though, so I think I should be fine. And anyway, I thank you for watching this video, and I hope to see you in another video next time, when probably the Colts review video, most likely. But yeah, I'll see you next time.